Conqueror's Haki has long been one of the most fascinating and mysterious abilities in One Piece. For years it was mainly a narrative marker, a way to signal that a character had immense potential compared to others, with it often feeling like just an aura farming tool. A flashy display of raw willpower that didn't always have any clear combat application. We knew it indicated someone was special, but beyond that it wasn't fully explored. However, in the recent arcs of the series, Oda started to show the true depth of Conqueror's Haki. In Wano we saw advanced applications being used such as coding attacks and enhancing strength, in Egghead its significance was emphasized again through Joy Boy, and in Elbaf it was hinted that Conqueror's Haki could potentially counter even immortality, a game-changing concept for the future of the story. With this new focus on the ability, a major question has emerged within the community being, who will awaken or reveal Conqueror's Haki in the future? Oda has established that it's rare, that it signifies immense ambition, and that it often manifests in characters destined to shape the world. And as the story progresses, it's clear that many key figures, or those on the path to becoming key figures, will gain it or have it revealed. So in this video, I'll break down my personal picks for future Conqueror's Haki users, I'll explain why each character deserves it and why it fits in the greater story. Some picks may seem obvious, others controversial, and a few might feel surprising, but all are grounded in narrative logic, characterization, and series consistency in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get into it. Shiki is one of the more obvious picks. He's portrayed as a monstrous force in the One Piece world. Being a direct rival to Goldie Roger and Whitebeard, Shiki was a threat to even the strongest figures of his time. Both Garp and Sengoku considered him a major problem, and in Marineford, he destroyed a massive portion of the battlefield while fighting against two of the most powerful marines at the time. Shiki's also portrayed to be the third strongest member of the Rocks Pirates and has ambitions that perfectly match the profile of a Conqueror's Haki user. He didn't just want power, he wanted to conquer the world and often tried to recruit legends like Roger and Whitebeard to join him. With his contemporaries Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Roger possessing Conqueror's Haki, it's hard to imagine Shiki not having it. I also believe that he could wield the advanced application as well, cloning attacks with Conqueror's Haki similar to what we've seen the other five do. Given the narrative attention Shiki has received as of late, it's likely that we'll see his Conqueror's Haki fully revealed in God Valley flashbacks or future battles with Roger. He's absolutely a candidate for future prominence as a Conqueror's Haki user, and I'd be immensely surprised if he rose to the top of his generation without it. Momonosuke is someone I don't believe currently has it right now, but I strongly believe he'll gain it in the future. While Conqueror's Haki isn't strictly genetic, there's a clear trend with powerful conquerors having children with Conqueror's Haki. Momonosuke is the son of Odin and one of the most legendary Conqueror's Haki users, even with Kaido himself believing that Odin could have defeated him, and Momonosuke is now currently the leader of Wano, a nation full of skilled Haki users, and with his growth from a fearful, hesitant child to a leader, he is now building the courage and resolve that typically triggers Conqueror's Haki. He's surrounded by allies like Yamato and Kinemon who can not only boost his resolve, but in Yamato's case can teach him advanced techniques if he ever does bloom it. I feel it's reasonable to expect that Momonosuke will not only awaken the ability, but will probably even learn Conqueror's Haki coding as well in the future. Sabo is another likely candidate. While less certain than Momonosuke in my opinion, the case for Sabo was certainly strong. Both Ace and Luffy possess Conqueror's Haki, and Sabo, as the spearhead of the Revolutionary Army, is one of the most important figures in the current story. Oda has emphasized the significance of the final saga in Egghead, boosting the chances of him awakening the ability significantly. Sabo is set up to face extremely powerful opponents in the future, potentially including Shamrock or Akainu, both who are likely to possess Conqueror's Haki, meaning Sabo will need it to contend with them. There's also a possibility that Sabo could awaken the ability after feeling Imu's attacks during his confrontation, similar to how Luffy subconsciously learned the advanced applications in Wano. Regardless of the method, however, Sabo seems very likely to gain Conqueror's Haki and is definitely a character who would bloom its advanced application as well. Akainu is one of the clearest candidates on the list. As a fleet admiral, he gained the title of Sengoku, who had Conqueror's Haki. He's portrayed as someone capable of crushing the will of incredibly strong figures like Aokiji, and is positioned as a potential endgame opponent for Luffy. Some of you may ask why Akainu didn't use Conqueror's Haki at Marineford, and the answer is that it simply wouldn't have been beneficial. Being surrounded by allies made the indiscriminate use of the ability very risky. Even Sengoku, Ace, and Garp didn't try using it, and Whitebeard only tried to use it when Ace's life was immediately threatened. So Akainu's restraint doesn't really create any doubt for him having the ability, and given his narrative role and combat importance, Akainu clearly not only has Conqueror's Haki, but likely has mastered its advanced applications as well. Blackbeard is a complicated character for me. It's unclear if he currently has it or not, but if he doesn't, it seems inevitable that he will. Blackbeard's ambition, cunning, and narrative importance strongly suggest that he'll awaken or reveal it eventually. With him being the son of Rocks, I have no doubt he's definitely inherited not only his dream, but his conquering spirit as well. He could gain it after a confrontation with Shanks, much like how Luffy and Zoro did after facing Kaido. Once awakened, he could likely wield its advanced applications immediately, similar to what Zoro was able to do. Considering his future clash with Luffy, Conqueror's Haki in Blackbeard's hands is almost certain. Now, one moment I know we're all going to be looking forward to in the future is the day that the two greatest pirates in the new generation split the sky in a head-to-head clash. Beckman, Shanks' right-hand man, is a more obscure but highly likely choice. As a top member of the red-haired pirates, he's extremely skilled and doesn't rely on a devil fruit or specific move style when fighting, unlike a character like Usopp, who primarily fights at range. Beckman's raw talent and intelligence align with traits seen in Conqueror's Haki users, and his demeanor definitely fits it as well. When the Straw Hats face the red-haired pirates, Beckman is almost certainly going to be Zoro's matchup, and given the parallels between Roger and Rayleigh and Shanks Shanks, and Beckman, it's very likely that Beckman has advanced Conquerors Haki as well. Sanji's a more controversial pick, but in all honesty, he shouldn't be. I think it's pretty clear that he will get Conquerors Haki. His importance as one of the wings of the Pirate King makes it necessary, and Oda has emphasized time and time again that Sanji's style or mannerisms doesn't limit his growth, and he consistently keeps pace with Zoro throughout the series, who's now a confirmed Conquerors Haki user. It's likely Sanji will gain not just basic Conquerors Haki, but also its advanced coding abilities, just like Gabon did, and with the trajectory of the story now making it almost impossible to compete at a high level without Conquerors Haki, I don't see the left-hand man of the Pirate King going on without it for much longer. Loki, the current strongest giant, has made a massive impression on the community recently, as well as in the story, with Conquerors Haki seeming like a given for him. His past clash with Shanks and overwhelming presence suggests that he may possess Conquerors Haki, and with Harold, his father, having it, there's definitely a strong narrative precedent. However, while I do think he could get it, giving it to Loki would seem like a waste in my opinion, since he already has so much going for him. With him having a legendary devil fruit and being an ancient giant as far as size goes, I think it would be more fair that another son inherit their father's conquering spirit, and that son being Hajrudin. Hajrudin is certainly a wild card. I know most of the people in the community will disagree with me on this, but as Harold's eldest son, the one with the most parallels to Harold, the sole captain of the new giant pirates, and an ambitious figure aiming to be the king of the giants, Hajrudin embodies the traits of the awaken Conquerors Haki completely, with him having the drive, ambition, and leadership necessary for it. While Loki inherits his father's physical traits, Conquerors Haki is about spirit and will, which Hajrudin has no shortage of. He's a man who is capable of earning Zoro's respect as a warrior, and he has a great narrative importance in the future, with him being the reason why Luffy will have access to an army of giants in the final war, something which Big Mom and the world government desired greatly. He could certainly awaken Conquerors Haki in the future and may even learn advanced applications of it over time, and I know people will clown Hajrudin for struggling with Mach Vice, but it's been 5 arcs since Dressrosa. Hajrudin will clearly not be that level forever, and if Law can get a jump that puts him at weaker than Doflamingo to being able to keep pace with Big Mom, then Hajrudin can definitely get a nice bump as well. Moving on, I now have Dragon. Dragon is an almost nonsensical pick because there's no way he doesn't have it. Garp has Conquerors Haki, Luffy has Conquerors Haki, I think Sabo is gonna get it and that Akainu already possesses it, so there's no reason why I wouldn't think that Dragon has it as well. His main rivals in the world government more than likely possess it as well, and Dragon is a top tier figure in the story. His presence alone in the story suggests that he will have Conquerors Haki as well as its advanced applications. This aligns with his narrative importance as being the leader of the revolutionary army and a figure capable of influencing the world on a massive scale as well. Mihawk is another clear candidate. Zoro has Conquerors Haki, Shanks has Conquerors Haki. Splitting the sky with Zoro in the future is almost too obvious a moment to even have to say out loud, and Mihawk as the world's greatest swordsman fits perfectly as a Conquerors Haki user, including advanced coding. If you think he doesn't have it, you can argue with Oda because nothing I can say will change your mind. Back to the marine side, I have Coby. Coby is another likely future Conquerors Haki user. He was trained by Garp. He set up to become a legendary figure in the Navy, succeeding his master. His ambition, growth, and drive are nearly unparalleled in the story, with the only characters really rivaling it being Luffy and Zoro. I personally believe that he already has it but hasn't fully realized it, similar to Zoro. His Honesty Impact could have been an unconscious use of Conquerors Haki, as it's meant to parallel Galaxy Impact, which is a Conquerors coding attack. It's quite possible he already possesses the advanced version of it as well, just like Zoro, but is unaware. Sengoku will probably let him know in the future if this is the case, and the reason that Garp didn't let him know previously could be for the same reason that Luffy didn't let Zoro know, which is the fact that he probably thought Coby was aware of it since it was just pouring off of him. Smoker is a possible candidate for Conquerors Haki, not one I'm too hard on though. If he didn't get it, I wouldn't care too much. However, he has been emphasized repeatedly in the story, and given the power creep that's going on in the series right now, it's plausible that he will return with Conquerors Haki. Smoker definitely fits the profile of a user of Conquerors Haki, being determined, strong-willed, and central enough to the story and the new generation of Marines to warrant the ability. He's the kind of guy I wouldn't be too shocked if he had it. I'd be more surprised that he hasn't revealed it already. Shamrock is the commander of the Holy Knights. He's an obvious pick in my opinion. Unlike the other celestial dragons who rely on status, Shamrock is portrayed and shown to be exceptionally powerful and independent, and as a twin brother of Shanks, the current strongest Conquerors Haki user in the series, and as the son of the man who is more than likely a top contender in God Valley, an island full of Conquerors Haki users, it's highly likely that he has both Conquerors Haki and advanced coding. Finishing out the Garland family is Garling. He's the supreme commander of the Holy Knights, a key figure in the God Valley incident, and is now a member of the Gorosei. He has narrative significance as a future opponent for Dragon or Sabo, and with Shanks having strong Conquerors Haki, it's natural to assume that Garling is the one who he inherited it from. Another straightforward pick in my opinion for base and advanced applications. Usopp being on the list shouldn't really surprise everyone. Almost every Conquerors Haki list includes him in some degree, and I think he's gonna get Conquerors Haki possibly on Elbaf. His lies coming true gimmick isn't the reason I have him here, but it's his latent ambition. Usopp subconsciously holds himself back constantly throughout the series because he believes that he can always rely on Luffy. The times when Usopp is truly the bravest is when there's no one around for him to count on but himself. With Dory and Brogy now being possessed by Imu, and with Luffy possibly not being able to stop Imu this arc, I believe that Usopp will finally get the push he needs to get over his his mental hurdle once and for all and finally unlock Conqueror's Haki. He likely won't learn the advanced coding application, at least not during the current series, but the base ability definitely fits his character arc as being the bravest warrior on the sea. The Seraphim are designed with the traits and genes of the characters they're based on, and seeing as Conqueror's Haki is a mental trait, it's logical to assume that the Seraphim would inherit it as well, since it's tied to willpower and personality. I expect S-Hawk, S-Snake, and S-Flamingo to possess it, especially S-Hawk and S-Flamingo, who are the more prominent Seraphim from a story standpoint. Whether they have the coding ability is less clear, but their inclusion as Conqueror's Haki users makes sense for consistency. If S-Hawk does get Conqueror's Haki coding in the future though, I'm just wondering why Vegapunk didn't go to Roger's execution stand or the Moby Dick and just clone himself up a version of Roger and why wait for the Seraphim. Killer, Eustace Kid's right-hand man, is another wildcard choice, but still fits in my opinion. He's been giving me Conqueror's Haki aura, with him being the only other non-captain supernova besides Zoro, and his relationship with Kid, who's a current Conqueror. He also has parallels to Zoro as a swordsman figure and will possibly be someone who keeps him busy after he becomes the world's greatest. His role as Kid's Rayleigh and his dynamic with his captain being that of contemporaries rather than a subordinate just gives me more faith in his candidacy for Conqueror's Haki. Him being injured by Shanks' advanced Conqueror's Haki as well hints at a future potential blooming of it, as there's no reason why Oda let him get hit by the attack as well, unless he was gonna get a Haki bloom from the defeat just like his captain will. While he won't be able to match Zoro at the end of the story, he could awaken Conqueror's Haki later to solidify his status as a key figure in the worst generation. Law is last on the list. He may not need Conqueror's Haki, but it would feel strange if he never got it. With Luffy, Kid, and Zoro already possessing it, Law not having it would set him apart unnaturally, as it's stated time and time again that the strongest figures in the world possess the quality, so Law simply not having it by the end of the story would be kind of contradictory. How he gains it is unclear, perhaps through contact with Blackbeard or another high-level user, but if I believe that Hajrudin and Killer get it, it would be disrespectful to Law to not even consider him for the list, so Law will probably get it too, just for the sake of consistency among the worst generation members. While Conqueror's Haki is rare, the One Piece world is full of extraordinary individuals. It may seem as though Oda is just flooding the verse with Conqueror's Haki users, but we must always remember that the strong attracts the strong. Take God Valley for instance. That island was full of characters who could use the ability, and with the top of the One Piece world not being so congested, it's only natural that every character with strong ambition, narrative importance, and extraordinary determination will receive it. Unlike my previous candidates videos, these are all my own personal takes, so if you'd like to debate them, feel free to do so in the comments. As always, if you stuck around to the end of the video, let me know what you think. Did I miss anyone? Are there characters here who shouldn't have the advanced application? And am I tripping for having Hajrudin and Killer on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments and we can go at it like usual. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more high quality One Piece content. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.